We're live.
We are live! So, welcome to 42 Level 1's coverage of the Sony State of Play event from Thursday last week. We didn't do a live for this or anything, but we still wanted to talk about this because there was some interesting stuff in here, and me and Ali have got some interesting thoughts on some of these announcements that were made. I watched this live when it was going up, and it was about an hour long, and it will not take us an hour to cover it because there was a lot of things that are like, it's a trailer for a game that's literally about to come out in like 3 days. Like, okay. But anyway, first up, they announced Knights of the Old Republic remake coming from Aspyr and Lucasfilm. Now you've played this. You played this game before, didn't you? The original game.
Yes, I have. Never finished it. Never finished this game.
And this was made by BioWare, if I'm not wrong.
BioWare before EA came.
Yeah.
Bought them. Knights Old Republic 2, I think, was after. Can't remember. But this has been rumbling for a while. It's a PlayStation 5 launch exclusive, which means
console launch exclusive, I think is what they said. Yeah.
Which means it is going to come to Xbox eventually.
Yeah.
Like
after. Well, you say that though, but like Final Fantasy VII Remake is not on Xbox
it's
yet.
not
it
yet.
might.
It will, because they extended that with the DLC, you know. But anyway, Knights Old Republic. I would rather the Old Republic MMO on my console.
Okay.
You laugh, but it's the best. Some of the best Star Wars stories in video games. Even better than
this game. This game I heard was really good. Like I heard there was a great story and stuff in it.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that. Knights Old Republic 2. I know the story of it, even though I've not finished it, because I've read the comics, read books. The Old Republic's actually the third game in the series. It is actually Knights Old Republic 3 that turned into an MMO, so it still links in. It's still in the same outside of Disney canon universe. Now, it's interesting to me that they're allowed to do this, because they said that unless they're doubling down and saying it's canon now, they said every video game and every book and every magazine, every comic, from now on, in conjunction with the movies, would be canon to Star Wars. That's what they said. Now, unless they're coming away from that, which I don't think they are, unless they're coming away from that, then they're just basically confirming this is canon. Because maybe they've just decided this is too much of a beloved time period to interfere with. Because if they did Revan wrong, folk would hate them. They've already kind of messed up with the sequels that they did. I think they're worse than the prequels, but that's my opinion personally. But like, they need the favour of the fans. Knights of the Republic's a way of doing it. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't think they're going to change the story. I think it'd be a mistake to. I think they're going to add to it. I think this is 2 years away minimum. I don't think this is anywhere near ready for the scale that it's going to be. Unless they decide to do a remake in the style of Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is a possibility because we don't know what it looks like. I am interested enough. I'm going to follow its progress. But again, I prefer the Old Republic to this game. But if you go back and try this game, it's like early Xbox, original Xbox era.
Original, yeah.
I've got it on my phone,
I think that's why I'm interested in this one, because obviously like I just played Mass Effect 1 the remaster, and like the story in it was fucking great, but the gameplay was shit for the most part. Like
this is
I didn't like the gameplay.
Prototype Mass Effect 1 gameplay.
Absolutely, but that's why it excites me more that they're doing a remake rather than a remaster. Because if a remake to me says that they're rebuilding the game from the ground up, and they're going to basically use the same story.
They'll use the Mass Effect 5 engine, I think.
Yeah, that's fucking cool to me. Like I'm in for this. Like I will buy this game day one. It'll be a brand new game to me. I've never played it before. Like I don't really know anything about it. I've heard of Revan, and then there was some weirdness with like Jedi and Sith and things. Like I've heard and watched YouTube videos about things at some point to do with that, but I don't recall exactly what any of the things were.
So I won't spoil anything.
It's a new game to me.
But this is set like 40,000 years before the formation of the Grand Army of the Republic.
Yeah.
This is like lightsabers attached to battery packs, like old, like
Nope.
Jedi and Sith aren't like natural enemies at this point. You know, all that
Yeah.
stuff's still to come. Well, they are and they aren't, because there's obviously Dawn of the Jedi, which was the birth of the Jedi and Tython, but like that's a whole other story. I think you're gonna love this. Like, I hope a lot of people love it, because this is my favourite time period in Star Wars. And if you've listened to the show for a long time, Tales of the Jedi was my first entryway before even the movies to the Star Wars universe, which was the comics based years and years and years ago during the time of the Knights of the Republic. But like, I hope they add a lot to it. I think the story's good,
Yeah.
but I want side quests that adds in other things that have been added. I'm just interested in knowing what the status of canon is over there at Star Wars just now. And being a Star Wars nerd like me, it's like, is this still like fringe? Like, is this okay to make because the Old Republic's been allowed to carry on because it's still making money? Like, I don't know, because every other media property either got deleted with the Disney sweep, as you know, or it got accepted as canon, and the Old Republic was left going, and everyone's like, is that canon? And Disney went, look at the new sequels, and we're like, is that canon? They're like, we've got Daisy Ridley, and it's like, look, is that canon? And they're like, Camel's coming back, is it canon? They've never answered. They've never. So it's weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird situation.
But anyway, that's getting remade. Looks good. They didn't put any kind of date on it, so I think you're probably right. It's probably a couple of years away. Project Eve got shown as well, so that's a new game from Shift Up. And now this game I thought was Parasite Eve, because like they showed a character called
you're a
Eve,
fool.
and they showed big monsters, and I'm like, this is Parasite Eve. But no, it's Project Eve, which is supposedly, like you said, it was in the
Dusk
thing
514, which is linked to, I can't remember the name of the game, but it's
Eve Online.
Eve Online.
Is
I
like,
think this is linked to that.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
I don't know if it is. But anyway, it kind of looks like Bayonetta, sort of Nier Automata type thing. Like, it looks cool. Like, I like the look of it. But
What's the
like, I
leap in
played Bayonetta.
It's
Exactly, yeah. I played Bayonetta a bit, and I didn't like it that much. It's alright.
great.
And it's the kind of gold standard for that, like, along
Yeah.
with Nier Automata, so...
Yeah, I would agree. I've never played
It's-
Nier Automata, but Bayonetta and Nier
Yeah.
Automata are always the top of their field. So
Yeah, and like those games did really well, like reviews and stuff, and like made by Platinum. Like Platinum's good at this type of game, so I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, so I'm interested in it, but I need to see more. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. They showed off some more. I think it was gameplay footage for that game. It's the release date for it's March 25th, 2022. Any interest in that? Borderlands, but fantasy.
Borderlands for the sake of being Borderlands, but nothing to do with it. No, I'm not even. I own all three Borderlands and the Tales game. I'm not interested in that franchise, but I want to be.
Do you know what? The Tales game's fucking great.
Every
Like, I'm
time
not
I say
interested in
this.
the other games.
This is your
Tales game
response.
is great. Yeah, and you should play the Tales game because you would like the Tales game a lot. It's short enough and it's not difficult to get into, and like you don't need to know anything about Borderlands to enjoy that story at all. Because I know nothing about it and it was fucking great. It's probably the best Telltale game.
I'd say Wolf Among Us is, but
Wolf Among Us is great. Like that game's better. Tales from the Borderlands. It's much funnier.
I might play it because I don't believe you. I'm gonna like it better than Wolf Among Us.
I don't know if you will, but like I liked it better, and I liked Wolf Among Us a lot as well. Okay, Forspoken got shown off some more, and they showed off some gameplay. I think it's the first gameplay for that game. That's the game from Square and Luminous, and
Looks nice.
that's the game. Yeah, it looks really nice. That's the game that Gary Witt is doing some of the writing on.
Yeah.
I think it looks fucking great. It's basically like this woman gets sort of pulled through from modern day into like a fantasy world, and like she's got mad powers. Looks really cool. It's coming out. Mad Powers. It's coming out in spring 2022. I'm looking forward to that. I'll definitely pick it up when it comes out. So many games coming out then, as we've said already. Rainbow Six Extraction got a trailer. January
That game can
2022. That game can get to fuck. It's a reskin of Rainbow Six Siege.
Do you know what's even worse about it is just now, Andy,
Zombies.
they're doing an event
Just-
that in Rainbow Six Siege that is this game. They basically
Yeah.
added this game in as an event, and I'm like, why do they need a whole game of this? Just do it every Halloween in Siege.
Yeah, it does seem like a DLC that's like someone's
Went too
taken this
far.
too far, yeah. because it's using literally the same characters,
Same engine.
the same skins, the same engine. I don't know if the maps are the same. The maps might be new.
There's some new maps, but I've seen old ones with just the alien stuff on it.
Great. I have no interest in that. I will not play it.
It's not Tom Clancy. Get it out.
Yeah. Alan Wake Remastered got shown off, and it's dated for October 5th, so that's very soon. About 3-4 weeks away. Yeah. I'm interested in Alan Wake Remastered. Yes and no. Like I've got it on 360 already though.
This is a remaster though, Andy. New's always better.
Yeah, but like on the 360 version, it upscales it enough that like it's probably fine to play. So I don't know.
Depends what they've done to the controls. Because remember, Mass Effect improved the controls.
Yeah, that's true. But do I want to spend like 40 quid on a game
No, you
that
don't want
like
to.
I've already got for nothing? Probably not. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna buy that. Like I'll just play the 361 if I really get the hankering to do it, which I'm not right now. So, GTA 5 and GTA Online got the release date confirmed, or the release window confirmed for March 2022. Why the fuck is this game taking so long to come out?
Why is it even coming out? Like there was a guy from Rockstar that said in an interview, I don't know if it was Forbes or something, I seen it said even Rockstar's rep doesn't even know why people will buy this game but knows they will. And he's right. This will sell. This will hit the charts, and this will slowly replace the current one in the charts. What more can they do apart from 4K ray tracing? Like it's not changing the game.
They can make it load faster, right? And I understand that, but
it's not going to load for everyone because it's online.
Maybe they've ported it to a new engine. I don't think that they have.
They haven't.
Yeah. Why is it taking so long?
And
this game should have been out.
Remaster.
This game should have been out day one on PS5.
Yeah, it should have been out last year, day one.
Like,
and it should have been like 20 quid.
Why? Why is it over a year after launch?
It's nuts.
Very
It's
weird.
the fact that this is the second remaster of a game that came out in 2013. And
Yep,
all they did the
it's
last time was
insane.
add cats and alleyways.
Yeah, in first person. They added first person,
No.
which no one plays. No. But yeah, that's coming. So keep adding your million every month for Plus, like if you're doing that. Ghostwire Tokyo got another trailer. I didn't realise that was a first person game. I thought that was going to be third person.
No interest in that game.
Yeah, I was interested in it until I seen that it was first person, because it's made by Tango that made Evil Within, and like that was the third person action game or horror game. I'm like, oh, this could be a third person, like kind of weird. I don't even know what the fuck this game is. But yeah, it's coming out in 2022 now. So it was at one stage scheduled for this year, but it looks like it's been delayed. This is the game that's exclusive for PlayStation, but it's now made by Tango, that's owned by Bethesda, which is owned by Microsoft. This is what that weird one. This game will come to Game Pass down the line, so if you're on the fence about it, just wait. But it's a wee while away anyway. Guardians of the Galaxy got another trailer. Coming out October 26th, as we know, this year. This trailer I liked. I thought it was great. Like, it made me much more interested in the game than the first trailer that they showed. Like, what did you think of this trailer?
I was going to get it anyway. I like Marvel games like this. Feels like it looks fine. I'll get it. But I think I'm sick of the Guardians everywhere. They've been in, as I think I said this last week, or the week before when we done the show, like, since the Guardians came out, and if you read the comics, like, yes, okay, I've got a friend that Iron Man's his favourite superhero, but even Iron Man wasn't liked until the movies. No one that watched the movies knew about Guardians. I read comics and didn't really know about the Guardians. I knew about them, but I didn't read them until this came out. And, I mean, I think the hype for them's kind of gone for me anyway. They're now just a standard part of the mainline Marvel universe, and I will buy this, but I don't want to see many more Guardians games or games with like even the Marvel phone game that I'm playing, the Future, whatever it's called, the fucking Star-Lord mission. I'm like, I don't want to play Star-Lord. I don't want to play as him.
Yeah, like. But as I say, like, this trailer I think did a much better job for me of like selling the game to me. The first trailer they showed, I'm like, this seems like a kind of Avengers reskin almost.
Avengers is fine. Let's not slag Avengers main story.
And no, you're right, but like obviously I've done so many of these missions where it's like go into a space, kill all the things, like do
With a Guardians Telltale
do the
game.
unlocks. Like we had a Guardians Telltale game as well, which this seems like it's a mix of like the Avengers game and the Telltale Guardians game that I've already played through.
And Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 was heavily Guardians.
It was, yeah, and I didn't like that game at all. But this one I'm going to pick it up after seeing that second trailer. I'm definitely going to pick it up. The
It's
first
out
trailer
soon,
was,
isn't it?
Like 26th of October, so it's out 2 days before my birthday, so that's fine. I'll just tell the wife birthday. There you go, sorted. Okay, and then they showed Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt, which that's the like online vampire versus vampire game. Not for me, and I would expect not for you either.
I think my response to you was, if it's not Blade, it's not Buffy, it can get the fuck. I'm done with vampires.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not a big vampire fan, to be honest. Like,
I'm about ready
of
for a
any
Buffy
type.
the Vampire Slayer reboot on telly. That's what I'm ready for.
Yeah, that's probably to come. Like,
Why the fuck has CW not jumped on that already? That seems prime for CW, doesn't it?
Yep, everything 90s is like coming back.
Because they can't think of anything new.
Because they've run out of ideas, basically. So they're like, what if we took this person and put them in this situation? Like,
all they're like is,
okay.
what sold? Oh, like, do you know who's doing it brilliant? But I think the market's, and we talked about it on the main show, Cobra Kai's done it brilliant. But I think this sort of like unexpected sequel of Where Are They Now is going to get overdone now that it's worked for Cobra Kai. There's going to be guys in boardrooms going, right, our film in the 90s, like even Back to I know Back to the Future is different with actors, but let's make a Netflix show, 8 series, see where they are now.
Yeah.
This is going to happen.
Yeah.
A lot.
They can only do that though with like things that
Original
were
actor.
semi-cult at the time, and also the people were quite young at the time, so that they're not like ancient now. Because like the characters in Cobra Kai are like just on the age of like cool, they're grown ups now, and they can influence a new gen.
Do you know how old Ralph Macchio is in Cobra Kai?
Oh, he's probably like 50 or something like that.
No, he's 60. He's the same age as Mr. Miyagi was in the first movie.
Fuck off.
True.
He's aged quite well.
He's aged very well, but the reason is Daniel was actually 22 in the first Karate Kid when he was playing a 16-year-old.
Yeah, right enough. Because he does have a young-looking face.
He's aged, like, I remember seeing my grandpa when he was 16. He was an old man with wrinkles everywhere, grey hair and bald. And that to me is a 60-year-old. See, this is a new generation of 60-year-old that I hope we attain that. Like, then again, look at both of us and we're nearly 40. Like, I don't remember looking at 40-year-olds and going, that guy looks 40 and they look like me.
I'm only halfway between 30 and 40.
So you're nearly 40.
No, halfway.
Closer to 40 than you are 20, my son.
No, I don't accept. I'm nearly 40. I'm nearly at 42. I don't age you until I get to that age. That's fine. But yeah, like they're definitely bringing back some 90s things. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, not one of them. And that vampire game, no just. They showed a trailer for Deathloop, like a launch trailer basically, because it came out like yesterday. So the 14th it came out. Well, yeah, it's 15th now. Pointless putting it here, to be honest, but like, okay, just a free advertising space, I suppose.
They have to sell as many as they can before Xbox go tick tick tick. Sour soon.
They do. Like, I mean, that clock has already started ticking. Like Xbox has got like this count. They've already set it to upload to Game Pass.
Yeah, they have.
And they've just got the timer going. That's what they've done. It'll be.
Is it their game?
Yeah, it's their game. It might be 6 months out of a year. I'm not sure, but
I'll say fair play to Xbox for going, do you know what? We'll honour the original agreement, because they could have went, nah, fuck it. They could have.
I mean, I would imagine that it would be very difficult for them to get out of, or they'd have had to pay a bunch of money, and they're like, nah,
it's not
fine.
worth it.
Like,
I don't think this is a mainline series going down the line. I think we'll see a sequel maybe, but I don't think this is a Tomb Raider, Final Fantasy big name that we're going to be talking about in 20 years.
Probably not. You're probably right. They showed off a new thing which is called Kid Amnesia Exhibition, which is by Radiohead along with Epic Games, and it's coming out in November. What? So, you know the band Radiohead?
Yeah, on the way to Canada, I listened to their song on repeat, and it kind of drove me crazy because my
which song?
It was the one that went no. It was the one that went women and children first. Take the money and run. Take the money.
I don't even know that song.
Coming, Ice Age coming.
like Creep is the only song that I would know off the top of my head. I do not like Radiohead at all, so this is yeah, absolutely horrible music. Like I like uplifting music, and I do like some depressing music, as you would say, but like not Radiohead.
Idiotic by Radiohead. Idiotic.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I can appreciate the musicianship in it, but like, it just doesn't do anything for me. There's a lot of it's no energy and just no. But yeah, Kid A is one of their albums, so I'm guessing it's like some kind of, I don't know. You press play on the album and then you go around and walk around an exhibition of their art or something, maybe. Whatever that is, maybe it's in VR. Fuck knows. I've got zero interest in that. Like,
this is it. I'll only play less than 30 seconds. That's as exciting as it gets.
Oh my god, put it off.
This was me for like the 6 hours on the flight to Canada when I was like 14 maybe. It even sounds sad.
It just sounds horrid, man. They showed a game called Tchia. Oh, so this is the game where you jump back and forth between different animals. So like you're controlling a wee person, and then you can jump into like a seagull or like a turtle, like a dolphin, whatever. Kind of interesting. Like probably not one for me, but like could be cool for kids. If you're interested in playing as different animals in a game, lots of different animals.
The only game that I would play that you could do that in is if they make a game of Animorphs.
Okay. Remember there was a game called Messiah back in the day, and you played as like a little cherub.
No.
So you played as like a little cherub, like a cherub, like a little baby with like a diaper on, and it has like wee angel, and it has little wings. It can fly about and it can shoot arrows, basically, like Cupid sort of thing. There was a game called Messiah, and in that game it was very controversial at the time. I remember because what you could do is you could just go and possess any person, and then you could make them do whatever, because you could control them. You could make them do whatever. So you could just make them like commit suicide, and it was very controversial at the time because you could do that. But anyway, this Tchia game, you can control animals. Similar concept. So then they showed Uncharted Legacy of Thieves, which is Uncharted Lost Legacy and Uncharted 4. I don't believe it has the other games in it.
It doesn't.
No. Those games are coming to PS5 and PC. So they're making a port of Uncharted 4 and Uncharted Lost Legacy coming to PS5, Ali. They don't need to do this. Just the games already work. Just fucking make new games. Like, these games are not old. They don't need remasters. They don't need remakes.
No, Uncharted 4 looks fine, plays well.
Yes.
It's a really good game. Just buy the original game cheap.
It's like £5. Like, just
it's
buy
on
it
your
cheap.
Plus. Yeah.
You've probably had it on Plus for a long time. Yeah, just do it there. Lost Legacy has not been on Plus, and this is probably why, because they're fucking want you to buy it again.
I'm buying it.
Lost Legacy.
You
can buy it for a tenner, yeah. Lost Legacy is alright. It's shorter than Uncharted 4. It's worth playing, but it's not as good. But yeah, they're getting PS5 versions. Cool, they'll come to PC. I like that. So maybe that's why they're chucking it on
PlayStation
PS5.
games on PC though.
No, I know, but for those people that don't have a PlayStation and to exclusively play PC or whatever, it's kind of cool for them to be able to play these games as well. I'm all for that, especially with them coming out way later. Okay, then we got a logo of a game, and I'm like, what is this? Because it was an Insomniac logo and then a Marvel logo, and I'm like, oh, here's the new Spider-Man game. This is going to be great. But then what they showed off was not a Spider-Man game.
No.
They showed a very, very short teaser for a Wolverine video game, which is fucking coming out of complete left field because the X-Men have been kind of like hushed away in the background for the last couple of years because Marvel's not been doing anything with them. Like, they're in comics and stuff still fine, but like there's no TV shows, there's no movies, like nothing's happening. And did all that kerfuffle with that fucking what was the movie, the New Mutants movie that took a long time to come out and then just like kind of came out to a whimper.
That was okay.
But all the I never saw it in the end. But all the other X-Men stuff has all been like pushed away. Like, X-Men, no, they don't exist. Marvel have obviously come out and said that they are working on an X-Men property, but they've said nothing else about it. So this is the first X-Men thing we've had for a long time. And it's a Wolverine game coming from Insomniac. That's fucking cool. Like, the last Wolverine game was amazing.
Was
Like,
good.
the Wolverine Origins game.
Was
Yeah, it
better
was
than the movie.
It was better than the movie. It was fantastic.
Really good.
That was the game. That was the game where you had the destructible body, basically. So when you took damage, your body would like kind of fall apart, and then it would regen as Wolverine's healing factor. Like, that was cool on the PS3.
Yeah.
Imagine what they can do with that on the fucking PS5.
And they will.
Like, how? Yeah, and they totally will. Like, how cool will they make that? And like, Wolverine's got a cool background
No.
and tons of cool stories
You've
anyway
missed the
that you can
coolest
tell.
thing.
So
Haptic feedback with the claws coming out.
every time, yeah. Vroom.
Schnick.
Oh, and it'll make the sound through the controller.
It will. Although I did notice a cool thing in the bar. I did notice a cool thing. There's a number plate that's Hulk. I can't remember the number. But I looked that up when I spotted it because I was looking for Easter eggs in the back, and it's kind of like a thing that looks maybe like Abomination. The number plate in the bar suggests that we might see Hulk. This might be an early Wolverine that we're seeing after Weapon X, and the fact that he's in the Canadian or Rockies or North bar. He might fight Hulk in this. It could just be an Easter egg.
I don't think you will. I don't think you'll see Hulk in this game. But I think that's just an Easter egg to his first appearance.
Do you think we're going to tie this into Spider-Man and potentially the Avengers? Because you know, and everybody else knows, Spider-Man that's come to Avengers is going to be PlayStation Spider-Man.
Most likely, yeah. I think that they would be smart to tie it into Spider-Man because it's Insomniac making like their thing. I think it would be interesting to see what they can do with that. I don't know if they would necessarily.
Is it going to be open world?
Direct tie it? Oh yeah. This is a 100% open world game.
Where is it going to be set? It's not going to be New York.
I don't think it's going to be as open as Spider-Man is.
I think it's going to be in the mountains.
But having said that, like, Wolverine drives a car. Like, you've seen him drive a car plenty of times, so they could just have
Wolverine drives a motorbike. Wolverine ain't getting no Volvo, Andy.
Oh, not a Volvo. Oh, yeah. Oh, you could just fucking put him on the Days Gone bike.
There you go.
Like, just do that. And like, Insomniac is owned by Sony. They can just get that bike.
Just get the whole map from Days Gone. That would suit Wolverine.
Yeah, it'd be fine. Yeah, cool. Yeah. I'm excited for that. Like, that's probably the most exciting thing here for me because I did not expect that. And like,
that's at least 2 years away.
100%. Yeah, like probably even longer away than that. Like maybe 2024, 25 even. But that's fine. Like I don't like. I'm excited by the tease and like I'll play when it comes out. They then spent way too long showing Gran Turismo 7.
No, they didn't. It looks awesome.
They did. It looks awesome, but like they didn't need to show it for so long, and they said that it's coming out March 2022. So
the year when all gamers were skint.
Yes, 2022. Early days. Everybody had no money because they spent all their money on games.
I'm gonna have to be selective. I really am. Like, there's gonna have to be like, I need this game. Like, I'm gonna have to limit myself to 1-2 games a month next year, I reckon.
I'll tell you how you get around this problem. Buy your games physical. Buy one, sell it. Buy the next one, sell it. Buy the next one, sell it. Apart from the multiplayer ones and stuff, like, continue to buy them digital, but buy your physical games. Buy your single player games physical and complete them in a sharpish manner and then sell them. That's the way to do it.
You've said this.
That's the way you get around this. This is what I do. Okay, and then they then showed Spider-Man 2, which we were expecting, but then they showed Wolverine instead from Insomniac, so I didn't expect to see that. But Spider-Man 2...
I expected to see Spider-Man 2. However, I expected to see Miles Morales 2 first, out sooner, as a kind of patch over game, like get it out. I would not have been shocked to see surprise motherfucker. It's out in 2 months. Buy Miles Morales 2 now, and they've just thrown a story in because they could have did that, but no, we're getting a whole new Spider-Man game next year. I'd imagine next Christmas season.
No. Later, it's 2023. That game is they've already dated it.
Oh, gads, right.
2023. So you don't need to get too excited about it, but it is coming 2023. It does have.
Expected by the tease at the end of Spider-Man 1, Venom's coming because he was teased at the end.
Yep.
When you went into the laboratory, Doc Ock's, not Doc Ock, Osborn's. It had the
Yeah.
And it looks like
So
it might be Harry Osborn is Venom.
It could be. So it's Peter, Miles, and then obviously you've got Venom. Venom's interesting because he's been played by the guy that played Candyman.
Yeah, that'll be good. His voice will be good for it.
And they like obviously they have a bit of his voice in the trailer here for the game, and like it sounds fucking perfect. So great. And they didn't show. I don't think they showed actual gameplay, but they showed kind of like
You can
engine
imagine
stuff.
what it looked like.
Yeah, we've played Spider-Man, we've played Miles. We kind of can guess what this will be like. It looks like it will be good.
It's going to be New
Interesting.
York again.
Yeah, and then of course it will be. Yeah, and then they showed off God of War Ragnarok, which they showed a decent chunk of gameplay.
Now, did
No
they not
release
come
date
out
for that, but
a
it is
while
coming out
back?
next year.
Did they not come back and say Ragnarok's not the final name, and now it is the final name?
Well, they never ever said the final name before.
I knew it was
And
called
then- now
Ragnarok
they
before
did.
this.
Yeah, we knew, but we didn't know. Yeah, it's
it looks
called,
more of the
it's called
same.
Ragnarok. It looks like more of the same.
It
which is
has,
great.
and
God of
see the
War
people
is brilliant.
complaining saying it looks the same. The reason is because it's in PS4 as well. That's the reason why it looks the same, because they can't make it look much better. It will look better in PS5 and it will have graphic options, but it has to run in PS4. So,
Yep.
Here's a question for you, because we're coming to the end of this before we wrap up. Like, do you think the PlayStation 5 generation gets extended by a year or two because of this console shortage? Like the lifespan of it, instead of being like 6-7 years, we maybe get 8 years worth of.
Well, I don't know, because I mean, even if you look at it compared to the PS4, like PS5's outsold PS4 at this point in its life cycle. So
Do you
why
not
would
think?
it?
Do you not think it's crazy though that you can't walk in a shop and buy a PS5 almost a year after it's come out?
Yeah, I do think that's insane, because obviously we never had that with PS4 at all.
Or PS3, or
Like-
PS2, or PS1.
No. The only thing I can remember it with was like the Wii, and even the Wii was nowhere near this long.
The
Like
Wii
it
was
may have
hard
been,
to get, but it wasn't.
yeah, it may have been 6 months. It was really difficult to get, and then after that, it was
You
like,
could walk
oh,
in a
it's
shop.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't go in a shop. Like, I predict on the day this comes out, like after it's a year old, you still won't be able to get it in the shops. I think it will well into next year. And they've even predicted, what was it, 2023 before it's kind of.
Yep.
That's insane.
Before
Andy.
before it's normal, which is mad. But I mean, it's the semiconductor shortage or capacitor shortage, or
It's
whatever
the
it
same
is.
for phones. It's the same for everything. Cars as well. A lady I
Yep.
work with, son, works at a car place. I'm not going to say what it is, but
Mm.
they can't get new cars in because the computers are using these chips as well.
It's mad. And I don't know how it works, but like, who gets priority of all of these chips? Like, is it Apple? Is it Nintendo? Is it Sony? Is it the car people? Like, is it people that are making rockets? Like, because all these things like need these chips. So
I would say hospitals.
whoever's got the most money? Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, they probably don't need as much of them, but of course,
but you're
the
right,
priority
when it
should be
comes
given
to,
to
like,
healthcare, Ali.
When it comes to like luxury stuff, I think you're right. It'll be who's got the most moolah, who's paying up
Yeah.
front.
Yeah. I would
Where are
say
these
so. But,
semiconductors made? Because see if it's China, do you think they're doing this on purpose after the Android stuff with Trump?
No, because it's worldwide. Like, it's not like they've got hundreds of consoles in China.
No,
Like,
but no. Do they make the semiconductors themselves in China? Is what I'm asking.
I don't know. Like, I don't know where the shortage is, like the specific shortage. But I read some stories about it, and it was to do with actual mining of minerals. Like, there was a shortage of minerals because they weren't mining enough.
Yeah, because it's natural resources. That's why, like, I think,
Yep.
and I've predicted this before. Pretty soon, you're going to see a high resale value of like old phones. The prices are going to go up for them because they're going to want them back. Because
Yep.
I read somewhere that even in like a Nokia 3310, there's still stuff in that phone that can be reused in modern PCs
Yep.
and such.
But it's not the specific components,
No,
but
elements.
the components can be broken down.
Yeah.
And like the
Used.
metals can be melted and like used for other things and that. So recycle your stuff. Don't throw anything, like, don't throw any electronics away.
No. Are you just promoting your business in this show? Like, that's
I
several
am
times
not.
You've tried to get me to like trade games in. Now you're like, don't throw your electronics away. What's next? You're going to talk about warranties? Anyway.
No. But anyway, like God of War Ragnarok, I think it looks fucking great. Like I loved God of War 2018.
Do you know,
Yeah,
even
can't
though
wait
I'm
for
stuck
that.
at this game, right? I think it's cool. I think it looked lovely for a PS4 game. Even in PS4 Slim, I was like, this looks beasting. Tried it in PS5. PS4 Slim still ran it good, so I've got no worries about this running on PS4. My biggest issue with it is I prefer the old God of War.
Okay.
The style. I mean, you're not a big fan. You've just said you slated Bayonetta earlier on and said you didn't like it, but I'm a fan of that style of game. Do you know what I mean? I appreciate what this game's done, but
to be fair, to be fair to God of War, I think that I just went back to it too late. Like, I never played them at the time when they came out.
I mean, I had the PSP ones, Ghost of Sparta, I had God of War, the Ascension, the prequel one that came out the last days of PS3.
Yeah, so that one I did play like when it was contemporary to the time, and I enjoyed it because like it felt modern and up to date and fluid. But after I played that, I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. Let me go back to the other ones. And I played God of War 1 and I fucking hated it. It was horrible.
I would say God of War 3 stands up to like God of War Ascension even to today, and it's on like your Plus library. But
yeah, I've got it. Yeah.
I mean, God of War's cool. They've said this is the last in the Norse mythology, which is like that's not how it's done. That's not how it's done. Everyone knows you do trilogies.
The trilogies,
and yeah. But they've said that this is the last one, and if it is, then fine. But you can't stop God of War after 2. Like
no, they absolutely will not, because see, as long as this game does all right, like because that first game did so well for them, like critically and commercially.
Got me to buy a PlayStation 4 again. Remember when I was
I
was like, I'm done with PlayStation just now. I'm going to leave it.
And this game will be the same. This game will be fucking huge, and then they'll do another one.
I would argue it's going to be bigger.
Very possibly, yeah.
Bigger at launch anyway. Obviously not overall straight away because God of War's been selling for years, but
yeah,
it's more of the same. Fine.
Yeah. But yeah, that was their coverage of the PlayStation State of Play conference. I enjoyed watching the conference as well. Like, I thought it was snappy and well done. Apart from the Gran Turismo 7 segment lasting way too long, and they showed a lot of good things there that I was very interested in.
You've got to remember the last big Gran Turismo, the last mainline one, was PS3 2 console generations ago, and there's many fans of that series. So the reason they're going hard on it is because they want people to forget that Forza Horizon 5's out and like, pretty soon, like a couple of months, November it's out. So I mean, the good thing is that Forza, I'm a car racing fan, I know you're not big on it, but Forza's the king. I struggle to think that 7 is going to be a better game than the new Motorsport, Forza 8, when it comes out. Is 8 now? I know they're just rebranding it Forza Motorsport, but I don't think they can beat Forza now. I think they took too long away. I hope I'm surprised. However, in Forza, the Horizon series has kind of took over as their main one because it's more accessible to people.
Yeah.
So
more fun.
Yeah,
it's definitely more fun.
It's 100% more fun. Like, even for casual players, Forza Horizon, it's basically an open world car game. Like, you can just have fun in it. I hope this does well. Gran Turismo is very addictive. I was even playing Sport a couple months back. Remember, I was getting quite into that.
Yeah.
Gran Turismo is more, one more go and I can beat my lap time. I've never had that in any of the Forza Motorsports. I've just been, oh yeah, it's good, but it's not good that I need to try this again. And Gran Turismo's just always had that, I don't know what it is, but it pulls you back. And it's simple setup. It's not like overcomplicated menus. It's just like, there's your licenses. And even though you're driving cars you don't want to, you're like, I know I can do this. I know I can do it. I'll wait and see. I'm excited for Gran Turismo 7. But the most excitement out of that conference, to be fair, for me is Wolverine, I would argue.
Oh yeah, me too.
Wolverine's up there. Like, Spider-Man's all-time favourite. I know Ant-Man's your favourite, but Wolverine's close. Like, see, as a kid, I had Spider-Man and Wolverine. That was my two. I had other figures. I had Cyclops and stuff, and he lit up at the back. It was cool. But like, I had Iceman as well, and I put him in a freezer, and like, I broke him. So, Wolverine was always another favourite of mine. Probably from the X-Men cartoons. Is there, like, that's when I kind of latched on, because Wolverine was kind of your main guy in that. He's always kind of the main guy leading into the stories of X-Men, even in the movie. So, I'm excited for Wolverine. What would you say you're most excited?
Oh, totally in agreement, mate. Wolverine for me as well. Like, they confirmed as well that Wolverine's going to be rated R, so it's going to be 18.
Yeah.
So you've got the blood, the violence, all that shit that is like goes hand in hand with Wolverine. Like, you can't have a guy with fucking knives for fingers.
Yeah.
And not have like a rated R. Like Spider-Man's obviously like a 16 or whatever, but like he's kind of very gentle in comparison to Wolverine that's chopping people's heads off and all that. So
People made a good point. Xbox before this announced an exclusive Marvel game. Where the fuck is it?
what game was it?
They never said. They just said that they've got an exclusive
Oh,
Marvel
right, okay.
game. They didn't say a studio. They didn't name anything. But anyway, it's kind of funny. We both agreed on Wolverine. But yeah, there's stuff to get. It's good because the last PlayStation State of Play that we covered, I'm pretty sure we didn't enjoy as much.
No, it was terrible. Like they showed off a bunch of good things here. So yeah, I hope they do this
Going
every
forward.
time now.
Yes, they need to because we can't have indie showcases all the time. Do them separate.
Yeah, totally.
But anyway, that was our PlayStation State of Play coverage. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever. If you don't, that's fine. We're still going to be here next week. Check out our other videos on the channel as well if you are here. We've done a what's it called? Payday Pickups video last week. It was pretty fun to do. I do want to do one of those a month, even if I've not bought much, because like I did enjoy doing them. It's a different style of video than what we're used to. So check that out. Also check out the 42 show that we recorded the day earlier tonight, and the news that we've just finished before this. Even though this says news, this is State of Play. State of Play.